Good evening. I'm officially calling the Farmington Hills City Council meeting to order for June 26, 2023. I can't believe the year is almost half over already. It seems like it just started and there was snow on the ground. But now we have rain and the flowers are coming up and it's beautiful. So welcome to our City Council meeting. If you would like to speak on any item that is not on the agenda tonight, you can do so during public questions and comments. If you would like to speak on an item that is on the agenda, please fill out a blue form located in the back and just put the item number on there. And we already know you're going to speak for the Emergency Preparedness Commission, so we're all good over there. So first thing we do is call the meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I would like our new Team Michigan USA to lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We'll now have the roll call.
Mayor Barnett.
Here.
Council members Bullaware.
Here.
Bridges.
Here.
Bruce.
Here.
Knoll. Here. Massey.
Yeah, here.
And Newland. Here. Thank you.
Okay, next is approval of the regular session meeting agenda. There will be one change. Instead of waiting till public questions and comments, we have somebody giving us the tip of the month from the, yes, the Emergency Preparedness Commission. And so I will call them up as item 3A. So if anybody would like to approve the agenda as published with a minor change of 3A, that would be great. Mr. Massey, Dr. Massey.
Madam Mayor, I would move approval of the slightly amended published agenda.
It's been moved by Dr. Massey, seconded by Councilmember Bridges. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, it passes 7-0, no one opposed. Next is the proclamation recognizing the July 2023 as National Parks and Recreation Month. And Mr. Bridges, would you like to read that one? I have it right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Proclamation of National Parks and Recreation Month, July 2023. Whereas Parks and Recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout our state and country, whereas the City of Farmington Hills Special Services Department is vitally important to establishing and maintaining our quality of life, ensuring the health of our citizens, and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of the entire community and region. Whereas the Parks and Recreation programs are shown to increase a community's property values, expand the local tax base, increase tourism, attract and retain businesses, and reduce crime. Whereas the programs that are created and managed by the city's Special Services Department that take place at the Hawk, the Cossack Center, and other facilities throughout the city all help to build a healthy, active community and positively impact the physical, mental, emotional health of everyone who participates. Whereas the city's parklands and natural recreation areas enhance the ecological beauty of our community, provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and enjoy the outdoors. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Vicki Barnett, the mayor of the city of Farmington Hills, on behalf of the city council, do hereby proclaim July 2023 as National Parks and Recreation Month and encourage all citizens to pursue enjoyment of the outdoors and take part in one of the Special Services Department many wonderful programs, including cultural arts, golf, archery, aquatics, ice skating, fishing, senior activities, nature center classes, athletics, camps, special events, and more.
Thank you. And we have Mr. Farmer here from the Park and Rec Department to pick this up. Get rid of my accoutrements. Thank you. You look very good tonight with the shaved face and everything. Yeah, getting ready for hot weather. Yes, you may say a few words.
All right, so this year's theme is Where Community Grows, and it celebrates the vital role Parks and Rec professionals play in bringing people together, providing essential services, and fostering the growth of our communities. And Farmington Hills surely does that. These past couple of years, our programs and services have really grown. More and more people are participating in our programs and visiting our places. It's the highest participation we've had in our 50 years of existence. 50th anniversary celebration, July 6th, so everyone should join us at Founders Sports Park for that. So we're making a positive impact on many lives in many ways. Thanks to our volunteers and staff for making it happen. Thanks to our participants for choosing this place to live and spend their time. And thanks for your support and leadership to make Farmington Hills what it is.
Thank you very, very much. Does anybody want to say something about our Park and Rec Department?
We do.
Yes, Ms.
Yes.
Bolaware.
We have a fantastic Parks and Recreation. I like to give a special thanks to everyone on special services who came out for the Juneteenth celebration at the Hawk, and in particular, Rachel Timlin, and someone helped me with Sam's last name. Pardon me? Cocky, Sam Cocky. They did a wonderful job, and there are so many wonderful services that we have throughout the city, so a special thanks for that.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is a proclamation for honoring Avery Hill, who's with us tonight, and her family and her coach. We were sharing cringe-worthy pageant moments. And I know that Councilmember Newland would like to read that proclamation.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, there's a proclamation honoring Avery Hill, Miss Teen, Michigan 2023. Whereas Farmington Hills native Avery Hill was crowned Miss Teen, Michigan on June 3rd, 2023, and will proudly represent our community at the upcoming Miss Teen USA 2023 pageant in Reno, Nevada. And whereas Avery Hill has attended Farmington Public Schools since kindergarten and is currently entering senior year at North Farmington High School, where she has participated in band, choir, theater, musicals, Link, and Buddies, varsity cheer, varsity track, and the step team. And whereas she entered pageants at 14, won the crown by her third year at the age of 17, and was chosen as the fan favorite for all 3 years. And whereas, as a high school freshman, Avery was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome, depression, and anxiety, but with professional help and involvement in pageants, she grew stronger and gained confidence. And whereas, during her reign, Avery's mission is to create public awareness about adoption and Tourette's syndrome, as she shatters misconceptions and serves as a role model for young people from diverse backgrounds, to encourage them to work hard and follow their dreams. And whereas Avery Hill was recognized for her poise, self-confidence, beauty, work ethic, and dedication to the betterment of society, where she is chosen as Miss Teen Michigan 2023. Now therefore be resolved that Vicki Barnett, Mayor of City of Farmington Hills, on behalf of City Council, do hereby honor Miss Teen Michigan 2023, Avery Hill, and call upon our citizens to recognize her outstanding achievement and her commitment to serving as a role model for the young people of our state.
And we have the proclamation here, and I'm going to do something a little unusual and ask every member of council to step down so that we can hand the proclamation over and so that her family can get a picture of this wonderful achievement for her.
Okay.
These are my favorite things to do as mayor. These are my favorite. Parents can get in one too, you know. you like to come up to the podium and say a few words? See, I told you.
Tell us about the pageant.
Okay, so I first started the pageant when I looked at it when I was 13, and the pageant was held a week after my 14th birthday, so I was just at the bottom of the age division, and I was really nervous because that year had already been really, really crazy for me, but it was the light at the end of my dark tunnel, and I came out better on the other side, learning a lot of things about myself and a lot of valuable life lessons from it.
So then, I'm sorry, Matt, so you did it 3 years in a row?
Yes, this is my third year.
Third year, yeah. And then I know you're gonna be a senior, so what do you want to do after that?
I'm really focusing on just college right now, and then hopefully in college I want to go into neuroscience for my major, and yeah.
Where do you want to go to college?
My dream schools are like Saginaw, Michigan State. I want to go out of state, maybe Tennessee State, hopefully. But yeah, that's it right now.
Mr. Bridges.
Yeah, you should consult with our Councilman, Dr. Massey here, he's a neuroscience guy, but anyway, congratulations on your achievement, and look forward to great things from you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are the phases of the competition?
The phases. So first we start off with interview in the morning, and then we do rehearsals and all day, and then we come back, compete in activewear and evening gown, and then we come back the next day and the judges make their decision for top 16, including the fan favorite and People's Choice winner. And then they cut down the 16, compete in activewear and evening gown again, and then they shorten it down to 6. And then we do an on-stage question, which isn't judged. And then by then, we go off, the Miss do their stuff too, and then they come back on and they announce the placings.
Thank you.
I misspoke there. It was Dr. Bruce is the neuroscience guy. So he's the guy you need to consult with.
He's the neuroscience.
Yeah, you're the
guy.
cardio guy. That's exactly right. Both are doctor, PhD, so, but Dr. Bruce is.
They're both PhD neuro bodies. I don't know.
But
Yes.
I say yay for Tennessee State.
Yes. Very cool.
Well, I think what you're doing is wonderful. We're so proud of you, and we wish you all the luck in the world. And you're already charming us out of our seats here, so we're very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And-
Thank you.
And your parents, you know, they're not, but we'll bring them along. I'm sure. To you watching at home, I'm just joking. They're wonderful. They're very excited. And in Yiddish, they're cavelling right now, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck, we're rooting for you.
Great job.
Next item is 3A, which we moved onto the agenda. So we can have our Emergency Preparedness Commission tip of the month. Thank you.
My name is Mark Forshey, and I'm doing the tip of the month, as you said, for the Emergency Preparedness Commission. It's the very first time I've done this, so please go easy on me. But the goal for June is unique family or household needs, and everyone is different. Now is the time to identify what things your family or household can't be without for 72 hours. Identify and rank the importance of different things you need to consider. Sit and hold a family or house meeting and discuss. Take this time to identify any concerns brought up. And some of the common considerations are infants and children. And infants, you could have a whole long separate list for that, as you know. And then children too, but you have to think about traveling light. So this is why it's important to discuss it beforehand. Travel medication, prescriptions and non-prescriptions must be remembered, and at least a 3-day supply. So making a list of who is the ordering physician and the filling pharmacy is important. And review any safety equipment in the household: fire extinguisher, first aid kit, medical equipment, CO2 detectors, smoke detectors, escape ladders, fire escapes, and any other equipment. Review your emergency meeting location out of the house. Neighbors or other communities say, well, the Masseys across the street are nice people, we'll meet across there. So it's good to prepare across with a neighbor to meet, because if you're scooting out of the house all over the place, you have to have a central meeting place. And of course, you bring your pets if you have to evacuate quickly. And a number of people put their personal documents like insurance, identification, mortgage, all these papers that are important, but we don't really think about until we need them. So it's good to put them maybe in a safe, a little safe, but gather them together. Also, identify items like pet food, diapers, formula, medical devices such as a nebulizer, cane, wheelchair, etc., and to keep with your go bag or grab in addition to your go bag. So create a checklist with the go bag and make sure you have what you need. So to review what to do for an emergency, review what to do in the following situations. This is especially important for young children. Medical emergencies, fire, disasters, when to call 911, and who to call if they can't reach you in an emergency. So there are a number of things to think about, so it's good to have a checklist and be prepared so you're ready in case you have to go. And that's it.
Okay, thank you very,
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence to relate? I do want to point out that I received several email communications with Mr. Tom DeWard that I passed on to the city manager and the city attorney. So if either one of you would like to address how we're handling those?
Certainly. Yeah, well, the first email that was received from Mr. DeWard last week related to private roads in connection with the local road millage that was passed by the voters back in 2018. And basically, I think Mr. DeWard's correspondence related to why doesn't that local road millage which is a millage that collects taxes, property taxes, and devotes it to local road projects and subdivisions and whatnot, why does that not get used on private roads? The primary reason is because you can't use public tax dollars to pay for private improvements to private property, and private roads are owned by the private property owners that are along that road. They actually physically own the property, and that road across their property is their property. And not only does it create property rights issues, but it's a basic, you can't use public tax dollars to make improvements to private properties. You can't improve driveways, you can't do things of that nature on private property. The city does have, and has since the millage was passed with discussions with city council, I believe, if there is a private road that can satisfy public road standards or be brought into compliance, they do have the option to convert to a public road. And if they are able to do that and want to do that, they can go through that process, and potentially those local road millage funds can then be used for it because it will be a public road. So there is an avenue, excuse the pun, a method by which they can get to the point of public funding for their what would no longer be private roads if they want to. And I know there was more in the email that was more recently received. It related to a number of items that have been part of email exchanges in the past. And I know you have a long meeting agenda, but the newer topic from Mr. DeWard related to the private roads. So I wanted to cover that with you.
Okay, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Next item is public questions and is consent agenda items. So under the consent agenda, all items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine, administrative, or non-controversial by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which event the items may be removed from the consent agenda for consideration. We'll now turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Bruce to read the rather lengthy consent agenda.
Item number 4, recommended approval of revised Department of Planning and Community Development fee schedule. Item number 5, recommended approval of revised Building Division fee schedule. Number 6, recommended approval of the Engineering Division Fee Schedule, CMR 62375. Number 7, recommended approval of the Fire Department EMS Transport Fee Schedule, CMR 62376. Number 8, recommended approval of amendment to rules of the City Council and guidelines of conduct. Number 9, recommended approval of annual bid waivers and awards for fiscal year 2023-2024, CMR 62377. Number 10, recommended approval of award of bid for 2023 liquid calcium chloride and as needed dust control to Liquid Calcium Chloride Sales Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $150,000 per year with possible extensions, CMR 62378. Number 11, recommended approval of award of agreement for removal and replacement of the Spicer House roof to Source One Construction LLC in the amount of $198,217, CMR 62379. Number 12, recommended approval of extension of bid for a utility vehicle to Carlton Equipment Company Incorporated in the amount of $28,741.21, CMR 62380. Number 13, recommended approval of award of bid for purchase and installation of replacement vehicle hoist units at the DPW garage to Allied Incorporated in the amount of $37,835, CMR 62381. Number 14, recommended approval of award of bid for as-needed installation, maintenance, and service of commercial doors throughout city facilities to Christie Glass Company in an estimated amount of $50,000 per year with possible extensions, CMR 62382. Number 15, recommended approval for an invasive species inventory and management plan to PlantWise LLC in an amount not to exceed $19,750, CMR 62383. Number 16, recommended approval of award of bid to remove and replace windows at the Nature Center to DePore Building, LLC in the amount of $17,513.43, CMR 62384. Number 17, recommended approval of the Ice Arena Lobby Restroom Remodeling Project with Allied Billing Services in an amount not to exceed $162,666, CMR 62385. Number 18, recommended approval of a special event permit for the Farmington Community Library Outdoor Family Event to be held on July 31st, 2023. Number 19, recommended approval of City Council study session meeting minutes of June 12th, 2023. Number 20, recommended approval of City Council regular meeting minutes, regular session meeting minutes of June 12th, 2023.
Okay. Councilmember Knoll?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as spoken by the Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Knoll, seconded by Councilmember Bolaware. Are there any discussions? No questions? Okay, this will require a roll call vote.
Councilmembers Newland,
Yes.
Bolaware,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Knoll,
Yes.
Bridges,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
and Mayor Barnett.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now we move on to public questions and comments. If anybody would like to speak on something that is not on the agenda, they have an opportunity to bring it forward to us. Please limit your conversation to 5 minutes or less. At 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise my finger, and so that you know that your time is coming to an end. Anybody would like to come forward for public questions and comments? Seeing no one running forward, I will now terminate the public questions and comments section and bring it back to council for council member comments and announcements.
I want to again congratulate our Hawk for doing an absolutely beautiful job on Juneteenth. The group was absolutely amazing. Daja, attended by Councilmember Michael Bridges and Jackie Bolaware and myself, and they were just fantastic. We should have them back again.
Okay, anyone else?
Just one real quick question, or real quick comment, if I might, and that is I attended the Council of Homeowners Association meeting that was held last Tuesday night, and our Police Chief Jeff King did a presentation, and we've had a big turnover in, big additions with new hires coming in, promotions being done. And there was just as an observation, we had, over the last few years, there's been a lot of discussion around diversity and so forth, particularly around the police department. And I have to admit that at that presentation on Tuesday night, we are doing an amazing job with bringing in people who represent our community, the diversity that was in every one of those higher groups and so forth. It's just, Jeff King's done a great job as chief in doing that. So I just wanted to say that out loud for the council members if you hadn't seen it, and for the city manager, because you should let the chief know.
Thank you. Councilmember Knoll?
Sure, I have an announcement. So the Farmington Players Theater, which is on 12 Mile, it's on the north side of 12 Mile, just west of Orchard Lake. They're celebrating their 70th anniversary of being in our community. So on Saturday, July 15, they are going to be having a special evening at the Barn Theater. They're celebrating what they're calling their twin anniversaries of 70 years of performing in this community and 20 years in the new barn, which is, as I say, their current facility. And so they are going to be having a performance that's called the Musical Comedy Memories of 2023. And they are going to, let's see here, they're going to be producing songs from different musicals that they produced over the past 20 years, as well as they're going to then be having a dessert and wine bar. Doors open at 7 p.m. and they're going to be having a silent auction as well as backstage tours, and then the show begins at 8 o'clock. And the Farmington Players always does a wonderful job on their productions throughout the year, and so I am sure this will be equally just as fantastic. So I believe tickets are $30 if I remember correctly, so encourage people to go online, just Google the Farmington Players, and it will pop up and you can buy your ticket.
Thank you. Mr. Bridges?
Yeah, just a quick comment. City Manager, I know you had in your report to council regarding major road project. I had a call today from someone asking me why that road, on the road between Farmington and on 14 round between Drake and Farmington, why is it taking so long? I know it's not our responsibility, it's the county, but any reason why the delay has been there regarding that road there? Why is
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
the 14-mile road project you mentioned in your report? Just an explanation as to why it's been taking so long to get that road completed on 14-mile road. You may not have that information or not. Maybe it's a county decision. I don't know why that road is taking so long to get completed. Between 14-mile road between Drake and Farmington.
Yeah, I don't know all the specifics behind that. I suspect, it is our project, it's not the county
Oh,
project.
it's our project, okay.
14 miles our jurisdiction.
Jim knows, Jim Cabrera.
Jimmy, you here?
No, we had some issue with drainage there in the past and major drainage.
Mr. Cabrera snuck in late, I didn't see him.
I'm not aware that it's behind our.
Oh, okay.
We have to get you to the microphone.
All right.
You know where it is. You've been here a while.
But yes, typically all our major roads, we try to, and in our contracts, we put a note to shoot for a Labor Day opening. I'm not aware that we are behind. I know we had a couple delays with some of the roundabout stuff, but that was taken care of, I think a couple weeks ago. We finished the surfacing there, but we are on target as far as I know. If somebody is having an issue, please send them to engineering, and we'll be happy to see what their concerns are or what their delays are.
Yeah, I think what they probably conflating the fact that because that major work that was done in the past on 14 Mile, was it that the big main that was the water main that was broken there? They're probably conflating all of it together and that. So I understand.
If there is a person, please send them our way, and we'll be happy to talk to them or give them some input of more detail. But we will be open. The plan is by Labor Day for the 14-mile job.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, I would just like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy and healthy 4th of July holiday coming up next week.
Thank you. And I would like to remind everybody, since I just had a spot of cancer removed from my nose, that wear sunscreen, wear a hat, make sure that you are lathered up for the summer weather so that you don't suffer any undue sun damage that could turn into something much more serious than a minor burn. So take care, everybody, and be safe during the holiday season. Now it's time for the city manager update.
I had another shout out, I forgot. Friends of the Library, they did a great
Yes.
event at the gala. It's such a wonderful pleasure, honor to have such a wonderful group that supports our library system. They do book sales, events all year long, and they're just so passionate about supporting our library. So thank you, and great event again for the Friends.
Okay. City manager update.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, council. Just would like to remind our residents that the city's 50th anniversary celebration will be on Thursday, July 6th from 7 to 10 p.m. at Founder Sports Park. For those that don't know, that's located at 35500 8 Mile Road. Come and enjoy some live music, bouncers for the kids, a rock climbing tower, history of the city tent, several food and drink vendors, and much more. The fireworks will begin at dusk, which at this time of the year is about 10 p.m. And just want to remind everybody that there will be parking available at the park, and also we want to let those watching know that additional parking will be available at both Power Middle School and at Gill Elementary if the lot at Founders Sports Park is full. Speaking of fireworks, next Tuesday, as I mentioned, is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, Farmington Hills. And wanted to remind our residents that city ordinance restricts the use of fireworks from 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. on June 29th to July 4th. And ask that folks simply be mindful of our city ordinance. There are some in our community that don't enjoy loud noises and the fireworks, and just asking folks to be aware that there are some folks that struggle at this time of the year. And lastly, because of the 4th of July holiday and it falling on a Tuesday, this is confusing, now we have to listen. Rubbish, recycling, and yard waste pickup will be delayed one day next week for everybody except for those whose regular pickup is on Monday. So if your pickup is on Monday, you're fine. If it's Tuesday, your Tuesday will be picked up on Wednesday, Wednesday on Thursday, so forth and so on. Thank you, Mayor. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
Yes. As you know, Gary, I recently had the opportunity to give a short presentation on our master plan, and there was a lot of questions about how can they see it and how they could comment on it. And I thought, since we're having this wonderful celebration for our 50th anniversary, that perhaps we could have some type of informational booth there for, I had spoken with Charmaine earlier, I think last week, about that we could have a booth, people can see it, comment on it, ask questions about it, because they will be there during that period of time.
Thank you. It's a great idea. Thank you.
Comment. Everyone out there, the entire state, we should be able to do this. Good vibes for no rain for that day. So everyone start thinking and hope no rain.
Okay. Next item is closed session. Item number 21, consideration of approval to enter into a closed session to discuss an employee requested review for City Clerk Pam Smith. Council may return to open session immediately following the closed session to take action if needed. So we will come back either to adjourn or to take some action and then adjourn. And it is a roll call vote to enter into closed session. And once we do, we will ask everybody in the room except us to leave and have a wonderful evening. If you're watching on TV, stand by because we will come back to an open session following the review. Okay? So roll call, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion. So I'll make a motion that we enter into closed session to discuss an employee requested review for the city clerk Pam Smith.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilmember Knowles, seconded by Councilmember Bridges. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmembers Bolaware,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Knoll,
Yes.
Bridges,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Newland,
Yes.
and Mayor Barnett.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we will now close the normal session, go into a closed session. Welcome back to our open session. We have concluded our closed session, and we are now back in open session. So is there any discussion or any motion that anybody would like to put on the table?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
And that would be that we, after having given Pam Smith her review, that we move forward with giving her a raise as was outlined in the documentation that we received.
do we have to state what that is?
Well, the documentation is going to be a public record. You can certainly put it on the record, but if it's the same as what's in the materials provided to City Council, either way is just fine. If you have it in front of you and it's simple to put in the form of a motion, then certainly that would be the easiest and best way to go.
To add the number to the motion, is that what you're saying?
I don't know what you have, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah, if you want me to clarify, so usually it's consistent with, I'm not asking for any more, but what was approved in the budget and consistent with the general employees, so that was 4% raise.
Yes, and that's exactly what my motion is.
So if I, okay, I'm sorry, you should second.
Hang on one second.
Okay, so it's
4%.
been moved and seconded, and the city attorney would like to clarify something?
Yes, so from the sounds of it, this has already been approved as part of the budget, and am I correct?
How about I give you a slightly different motion that says that we resolve that City Council hereby affirms a 4% increase for the city clerk based on our annual review that is consistent with the increase approved as part of the budget for general employees.
There we go.
Which is just a different way of saying what I was saying. Yes, there you go.
I accept that as a.
Okay, so the motion is clarified, and it's been moved by Dr. Massey and seconded by Councilmember Bridges. Is this a regular vote or a roll call vote? This is a regular vote. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It passes 7-0. And now we move on to adjournment.
That would move.
So moved. Okay, Dr. Massey moves for adjournment, seconded by Councilmember Knoll. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. 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 Good night, Farmington Hills. Happy 4th of July, and have a great start to your summer.